In a classical Hollywood film, there is something called a catalyst. Now, a catalyst happens within the first 10 to 12 minutes of the film that you're watching. First, we get introduced to our main character, our protagonist of the story. We get given the overview of their world. And we see that this world is just ordinary, nothing exciting. You know, it's just normal. Now, what you got to realize is normal or ordinary can only lead to death. And that is why by the time you get to 10 to 12 minutes, something comes in to shake the world of our protagonist. Now, that thing does not come as a good news. As I said, it comes to shake. So it's a bad news. A catalyst is always a bad news. Now, a catalyst could be you quitting from your job that you've had for the past 10 years. Because you've realized that there is more to your life than just waking up every morning to come and sit 9 to 5 p.m. job. Perhaps you got fired. It wasn't you that did the quitting. You got fired from your boss. And now the question begins. The question becomes, what now? You've had this job for the past 10 years or 15. What now? What do I do? How do I survive? How do I pay my rent? Now that is scary, isn't it? That is a catalyst. A catalyst could even be a marriage ending. It could be that you've just ended your marriage, or perhaps your partner did the ending. Maybe you've known this person for the past 20 years, but all of a sudden it's ended. And it's just like, what do I do? What is life without this person? How do I begin? That is a catalyst. It could happen as a phone call, perhaps an emergency phone call. Something has just happened in your hometown that you haven't visited in 10 years, and you are required to come. You have to come. So when we look at catalyst, it's like it's a sudden, interruption of the world that you've known. It comes as a sad news, as I already mentioned. But the good news is a catalyst is what you need to take you to the next level of your life. It is here to take you from your ordinary world into an extraordinary world. You are about to go into an adventure. Sometimes a catalyst could be, an earthquake, a flood in your city, and you have to evacuate. Now, when you have a catalyst, the main character, you as a main character, you don't want to answer that call, but you answer it anyway because it is the right thing to do. You quit that marriage because it is the right thing to do. It hasn't been working, and you know it. You know that you just can't continue this way. Something has to change. You know that you can't continue that work, that you're in. Something has to change. You're bored of it. You're sick of it. There's more to you. And you're about to go into an adventure to go find out who you really are. What is out there for you that is outside this vicinity, outside this zone that you've been sitting in for 5-8 years. So a catalyst takes us into an adventure. A catalyst can happen many times in our lives. My own catalysts, I've had up to 3 that I know. One happened back home in Nigeria. It was a phone call from my sister that told me that my mother is an emergency condition and we needed to save her. Now, what I did immediately, I had to abandon my hope of education so that I can go find money to save my mother. I had to do that because for me, it was the right thing to do. I wasn't happy abandoning school. In Nigeria's education, we always see education as the first thing, for everyone, like a priority, something you have to achieve before anything else in life. And so abandoning that, quitting that at that age, was like putting my life on the line just to save my mother. So that was a catalyst for me, because that catapulted me into Australia to die. That decision I made when I received that phone call from my sister about my mother resulted to where I am today. It took me to Australia. Now, my second catalyst happened when I was, in the path to nursing career, a path that I didn't want to be in, but it promises, survival, better hope for my family. And so again, I just needed to sacrifice myself. Nursing wasn't my passion, that I thought I needed to throw myself in again for my family so that my family could survive. But then on that path, one day I was required to come to the mortuary to see dead bodies, to see bodies. And I knew that I couldn't see bodies because growing up, I was traumatized by, the image of bodies. And so I just did not see myself continuing anymore. I knew that I would rather die than to visit a mortuary. And so at that point in time, I didn't see myself going any further. And what did I do? I just quit. I said, I'm done. This is it. Yes, I want to save my mother. I want to feed them, but not at the, expense of my life, not at the exchange of my life. And so I quit nursing right there and then. And then I began my own passion. So quitting my nursing path resulted into my film journey, which resulted to where I am today. Now, along the way, again, after my film studies, in 2021, I had another catalyst where everything was quitting on me. A whole week, many things quitted on me. 3 things was quitting on me. And because I already, knew about catalysts, I knew straight away. So I did not sort of like take anything at that point in time personal. I knew that it was another catalyst in my life. And so what did I do? I just started laughing at the situation because I knew that I was about to embark on another journey. I knew that a growth, was calling, So we have different catalysts comes into our lives. Now, a catalyst takes you up. It's not here to take you down. It's here to build you. A catalyst is taking you into transformation. You have to be transformed. Now, I have grown. When I look at my life in the past and compare it to now, I have grown. There's been a character change in me. Now, which brings me to what catalyst does. It brings a change. Now, for my one, I had both a physical and an internal change. I grew in my career, which is awesome. But then I had an internal change. That internal change was built from my character flaws. Now, I had passion to pursue film, but there was fear in me that I could not, succeed in that path. Now, that is fear. I was insecure. I lacked confidence. And in order for you to succeed, all of those characters needed to be dealt with. They needed to be transformed so that I can wear the mindset that would enable me to win in my career, to win in the path that I, needed to be in the path that I was in. And so my character suddenly changed. So when I look at myself today, there is confidence in me now, So the lack of confidence is gone. The lack of, self-belief, all of those things change. I became a different person. So when you watch a film, you look at a character in the first 10 minutes of the film, in the beginning of the film, look at the character and then compare the character, the protagonist. In the end, you know, you're going to see a big change between them. You know, the same person, but something is changed. They've won something. They now look at the world from a better lens. They know better. They have learned from all of those adventures that the catalyst catapulted them into. So a catalyst takes you into an adventure, and that adventure is eventually going to build you. It is what you need to become the person that you want to be, the person that you have been designed to be. And so my question to you today is, what is your catalyst? Have you had your own catalyst? And if you have, where are you at with the catalyst? Did you answer the call, or have you been putting it away, settling for ordinary, settling for a relationship that is not working because you are afraid to go into an adventure? You are afraid to answer that call. Now, what I'm going to tell you today is, unless you answer that call, your story haven't actually begun, because there is no film without a catalyst. What started a story that we're watching is the fact that our character, our protagonist, is about to go into adventure, is about to answer their call. And so if you're not answering your call, it means your story haven't started. So from the moment you answer that call, that is when your story starts. And so I just hope that you know those calls when they come in, and I hope that you don't ignore it. And if you already answered the call, just know that you're on your way. You know, so I'm going to say good on you for answering the call, and know that you are now on your way to where you want to be. You're on your journey to transformation, your journey to success, your journey to winnings, to transform. That is where you want to be. Thank you for listening to me today, and I hope my little talk made a little difference in your life today, and I hope you understand better. I hope this gives you kind of like a better understanding of your situation, and as well as where you're at. Thank you, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.